everybody. It is Sunday, March 12th, 2023, and here is your reading for the week. I'm Dolly. This is the Wolf Girl Oracle, and I'm really glad that you're here with me today. I wanted to show you guys something. I got a neat chime. I got a chime, you guys, for doing meditation. Listen. Shanita, whose channel I will put in the description below, did a sound bath, basically talking about the different instruments that you can use during meditation, and chimes were one of them, along with gongs and drums and all kinds of things. And you guys got to check out that video. It's really cool. So I got this chime to help me with meditation. So I think I'm really excited to try it, and I think it's very cool, and it's really pretty sounding. And I'll put a link to this chime in the description below. So let's go to the other camera and let us do our reading of the day. And I also wanted to show you guys this nifty little deck I got. I know a lot of you are new to tarot like I am, and like to find decks that are helpful in your journey, your tarot journey. So I got this deck. It's called Tarot Cards from Beginners. I got it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll put a link for the chime in the description below too, just so you guys can see it. It's a cool deck. And here, let me show you just like a card here. Let me just take the bottom card. So basically it has all of the important, what I consider to be the important imagery of each card is depicted on each card. And then there is a upright meaning and a medicine reading on the bottom. So, you know, if it comes out this way, you've got like a little explanation on the bottom. And I feel like this is really good for helping you get to know the cards. I don't feel like you have to memorize everything. I feel like the cards kind of tell you. Spirit talks to you while you're looking at the cards. But in the beginning, it's nice to just have a few keywords to like lean on to help you feel what the message that Spirit's trying to convey to you, you know? So I have quite a few decks now that do have, you know, meanings on them, or just basic interpretations. And so, but this is my newest one, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm going to use it today, and I'm going to use it all week long, so we can just kind of get a feel for it. It is a huge deck. I cannot shuffle this thing. It is giant. Like, where is do I have a regular deck nearby? No, I don't. But here's my prism deck. And the prism cards are relatively big compared to my hand. But I can shuffle these. These cards are quite a bit bigger, as you can see. So I'm going to have to shuffle them a little weird. But that's okay. There is no right or wrong way. So let's get these shuffled. And as I do, we're going to ask the angels to protect us. We're going to ask the spirits of the land and my home to surround us, and we're going to ask the ancestors to give us wisdom. What do we need to learn today, Spirit? Please and thank you. What do we need to work on this week? Oh, okay, so the first card that comes out is the Two of Swords. So we'll get that down in the past influences position. All right, now we're going to look at the present circumstance. What do we need to work on? What do we need to focus in on and work on? The Five of Wands is in the present circumstance. Unexpected issues. We have the Hierophant in medicine position. Best course of action. We have the Five of Cups. And the outcome we have the Six of Swords in the Medicine position. So we start with the swords, and the outcome is the Six of Swords. Interesting. All right, so all the suits are depicted in this reading, and we have one major arcana card in the unexpected issues. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so for the past influence, we have the Two of Swords. And you can see this is depicted, you know, very much like you would see in the Rider-Waite deck. It's simplified, but it's the same feel. And when I see the Two of Swords, I'm thinking about like crossroads, difficult decisions, transitions, that kind of thing. On the card itself, it says indecision, irresolution, intuition, represents choice or the inability to decide. So that's what the card says on the card. This is our past influence. So I think that maybe we were a little indecisive and maybe a little unsure. Like maybe our self-confidence wasn't there to make a decision on our own, so we were afraid to come to a decision. And it really revolved around how we were feeling about ourselves at the time that kind of brought us to that moment, you know, where we couldn't make a decision. But that's in our past. We're past that now. So for the present circumstance, we have the Five of Wands. Let me get that in the frame here. And when I think about the Five of Wands, I usually think about like pointless conflict and competition, you know, change that's necessary, that kind of thing. And on the card itself, it says competition, conflict, chaos, jealousy, chaotic energy, tension, and differences of opinion. And, you know, it's funny that this card comes up a lot for a lot of people when they're doing this kind of a reading, where when they're doing a what do we need to work on kind of reading for our country, you know, as a collective, not just for one person, but for the entirety of a collective. And I think that it's because we still are clinging to, we have attached to our personal beliefs about many, many different things in this country. We are really closed-minded right now. Even people who call themselves liberal are really closed-minded right now to their ideas of how things should be and how things should work. Whether you're conservative or liberal, it doesn't matter. If you're clinging to your own ideas and not even allowing anyone else to speak or their ideas to come forward, you're making a lot of pointless conflict just because they have a different label that they've attached to. You see what I'm saying? So by faulting somebody for the label that they attach to, you're also attached to a label. So we need to lay those labels down, I think, and just say we're Americans. What do we need to fix? How do we go about this? And we need to start having those conversations at the local level and then moving those out nationwide. It has to happen. If it doesn't, our country doesn't have long. I'm just saying. Okay, so for unexpected issues, we have the Hierophant, and it's in the medicine position. Again, you know, you've got it's simple imagery, but it's all the important stuff that you would see on the Rider-Waite deck. Now, with the Hierophant, what it says on here is it says poor leadership, being misled by an egotistical authority figure, a free-spirited visionary, permitting you to forge your own path. So, I'm wondering right now, because I'm looking because I specifically asked the cards, what do we need to get past? The fact that it is bringing up poor leadership, being misled by an egotistical authority figure. What does that make you guys think of? Oh, and look, the Hierophant is orange. And I don't like putting that kind of energy into a reading because I feel like there's so much more that we can do personally. But it could be that the leaders that are thinking about running for president, leaders who are thinking about stepping forward and running from the House and running for the House and the Senate in the next election period, judges that are thinking about running to become Supreme Court justices or beyond the Supreme Court in their state. All that kind of fits into the Hierophant mentality. And, because as of late, we have had some pretty poor leadership. I guess it doesn't even matter what side of the aisle you lean on. I don't think anybody's happy with anybody that has been in the White House for the last few years, maybe even a decade. So it's time for us to start looking for those leaderships, those people. We have to envision the country to be what we want it to be, and then elect people into the office that are going to make that happen, right? And we need to start doing that at the local level and pushing that out, because we can make changes at the local level. And if everyone starts doing that all over the country, sooner or later it moves from like city government to state government, from state government to nationwide. So we have to start small and work our way up to those changes that we want to see in this country, So the best course of action is the Five of Cups. So let me hold that up. You can see the 2 cups up, 3 cups down on the Five of Cups. Now, sometimes this can mean loss or a disappointment, or it can also be forgiveness and restoration, or focusing in on not necessarily what you've lost, but what you still have. On the card itself, it says grief, sorrow, mourning, disappointment, ruminating. One may be stuck on past trauma or feeling sad and regretful while not appreciating what remains. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's kind of how I always see this card. So with all these things that we could be doing in our country to make things better, all these changes we could be making in ourselves to make things better, I think what blocks us sometimes is our inability to let go, to detach from times that we thought of as being the best times, right? Because the best times for you were not necessarily the best times for everyone, right? So those of you who are like, I wish we could go back to the blah, blah, blah. Well, was the blah, blah, blah good for everybody? It always isn't. In fact, for the most part, it's not, right? What's good for everybody would be for us to progress forward as a unified country where everyone's free, where everyone's equal, but nobody has to give up their culture and their beliefs. That's the kind of future we need to look towards. What we have remaining is what's important, and that is our freedom of speech, our tenacity. Americans are very tenacious. We are very tenacious creatures. When we are up against something, we can come over it. Remember how the country was after 9/11, not wanting to go back in time, okay? But do you remember how the country was, how everyone came together? That is what we need to do without there being a huge crisis. We need to be able to do that all the time. That's the kind of future that I want, for this country. And I hope it is for you too. So, not that I'm necessarily right, but that is what I would like to see. I would like to see a country where everyone truly is equal, regardless of anything. So, the final outcome, the Six of Swords in the medicine position. And this is what we really need to work on right here. This is the end of the story. And when I see the Six of Swords, well, on the card, let me read you what it says on the card. It says, stuck in a rut. Can indicate difficulty getting away or escaping from a difficult situation. Well, it's more than that. Okay. It's pessimism, it's resentment, it's self-doubt, it's when you're feeling like a failure or you feel like you fell from grace. All of these self-imposed, hateful things. That's what I see when I see or feel when I see the Six of Swords. And we could be stuck in a rut, and that might be exactly what we need to work on. We need to get past our stubborn, feet on the ground, stubborn, I'm not listening, la 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 attitude that we have towards people who don't think exactly the same way as we do. We have to work together. We have to find a way to do that. We need to work on that, and it needs to start with us, the average American people, because we vote those people in. So it starts with us. We need to be the bright light. We need to be the change that we want to see. And it starts with us. We got to do this. We have to do this. We can't wait for the country to do it. We got to do it, right? So that's what I'm saying right now. This is the feel that I get from this reading today. But let's pick a prison card on top of all this to just see what kind of energy we need to work on this week. So let me get this shuffled. See, this one I can shuffle pretty easily. I really like these cards. I like the way that they're depicted. I do like what they have for meanings. I don't, it's nothing that's going to ever lead you in the wrong direction. I just think it can be expanded upon, and that'll happen as you get to know how Spirit speaks to you. Okay, this is what fell over, and it's flow. It's flow. We need to get back in the flow, you guys. You need to get back in the flow. So, because it's this lovely blue color, we're going to go with the throat chakra, our expression center, our communication center. It's what allows us to talk. It's our tool. It's our tool for communication, right? So we do need to make sure that that's healthy and in check, so that when we are speaking our truth to people, we can do it with compassion and love, and not angst and hate and fear, So I'm gonna pick a sodalite, and this was on our petal plate last week, but we're putting it right back there, the sodalite, and we're gonna continue working on our throat chakra, because clearly we still got some work to do there. And that's okay. We are a work in progress until the day we die. So let me switch over back to the other camera now. All right. So I wanted to thank you guys for spending some time with me this morning. And I hope you all have a beautiful week. I love you guys. Be open-minded. Remember to shine your light. Shine your light. Listen. Be compassionate. Reach out with love, even when people don't deserve it. Just reach out with love. And I love you guys, and I will see you all again tomorrow for a reading of the day. All right, take care, everybody. All right, bye-bye.